What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Waifuju video. Today we are looking at all the catchers in the game, and I am taking the 10 best, whether it's primary or secondary positions, putting him at catcher and telling you who I think is the best. These lists are always subjective, so please keep that in mind. If you guys really like a catcher that is on the list or isn't or is lower or anything like that, keep using him. If you haven't used somebody that's higher up, maybe give him a try, see if you like him, but use the cards that you're good with. These are just a framework for you to push out into your team and see who you like, and just based off my experience with the game. So with those being said, let's get into the catcher tier list. We're going to do a couple of honorable mentions. The first is going to be 90 Martin Tehigo, and with the boost with the Buck O'Neil card, he's amazing. So another honorable is 89 MJ Melendez. This card destroys lefties with the 107 contact. He's free in the BR program, and he's really, really fun. Great swing. I like him. He's pretty cheap too, so honorable mention. Another honorable mention is this 87 Jorge Posada. Jorge's amazing, just he's in the Conquest for USA, which kind of sucks, but switch hitter, great swing. He's awesome. If you have him, use him. Try him out, especially Theme Team Yankees. He's really good. And now starting out number 10, I have Mike Piazza. Mike Piazza is a 92 overall captain card, and he actually boosts other catchers. So if you want to use an all catchers theme team for God knows what reason, you could use a bunch of cards like Biggio and some other dudes that have secondaries at catcher, and they get it. He could be really fun, and that actually sounds like a fun theme team as well. But the issue is, despite this card's great stats versus lefties, I just really, really hate Piazza swing. So I wanted to include him just because his hitting stats are good enough. But Piazza swing is just never what I want to see in this game. So number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have 92 second half Joe Mauer. This card's from 2010. Joe Mauer is a really fun new addition that came into the game last year. He had the collection card day one. This card is similar, just way worse power-wise than that card was that day one. Now, 125, 92 is great contact. 72 power is okay versus right. 42 is pretty much unusable versus lefties. That is the biggest flaw in this card. But the speed 42 is fine. He's a good fielder. Blocking's fine. Just 42 power is pretty much unusable. You'll never really face lefties, which is the reason he's above Mike Piazza, and his swing is amazing. Just that's a pretty big flaw, and I can't really overlook it too much. So here is number 9. Number 8, we have one of my least favorite players in all of Major League Baseball, but he is really good in MLB The Show, and it is 97 overall, Gary Sanchez. He gets a card from the World Baseball Classic. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he didn't play, but here he is. 82, 75, 113, 110. A lot of power from this Gary, which is pretty classic of Gary. 98 arm is great behind the dish. It's the only position I care about arm strength, so that's definitely a plus for him. And he's going to be sitting on 29 speed and really low contact, and the clutch is still about the same as the contact. He actually gets a little bit better in situations versus lefties, so whatever that means for you. But you're going to swing and miss a lot with him, and he does have a bunch of flaws, including the speed and the contact. So he's going to be a little bit lower. I love the power, though, and on All-Star, this card's going to mash. Number 8. At number 7, we have 95 Harry Ford. This card is a budget beast to get him really early on in the WBC program. He's only a 95, but 81 speed at catcher is elite. Plus, he's a pretty solid blocker, 82 with 88 arm. Pretty nice behind the dish. Those are the only two defensive stats that I think matter back there, so keep that in mind. 84, 92 contact is not ideal, but 194 power is pretty solid for a card of this stature. 102 clutch does make him better in those situations as well. And again, he's a budget beast kind of a deal, and you get him really early. So this card's great, and because of how budget he is and the speed, he is here at number 7. At number 6, we have Kwang-hyun Kim. I don't know if I pronounced that right, and I do apologize if I did not. I haven't used him, so I can't really speak on any of his attributes like in game. But 92, 100 is great for the contact. 87, 104 is pretty solid as well. I wish they were flipped, and reverse splits right now would be better. That's the reason he's probably this low. The defense is pretty solid as well. High 80s for block and arm. 64 speed is actually very solid for a catcher as well. I don't know too much about him, so he's going to sit at number 6, but the stats look pretty good. And again, he's another World Baseball Classic card. I'd probably still rather use Ford just because of I know his swing is good and the 81 speed, but that's just preference at this point. So he's one spot higher. At number 5 is a card I really don't even want on this list at all, but he is just far too significant versus lefties to leave out. It is 97 overall, Charisma Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench has one of the worst swings in this game. I cannot stand using Johnny Benches. You will not see me using it outside of memeing a little bit in the vents. 80, 104, 86, 125. If those were reversed, he would at least be a little bit better. But you're never really facing lefties in this game. The contact versus right is way too low, especially for how bad his swing is. You're just going to probably pop up and be late on a lot of fastballs. But he is a great defender too. 90s are pretty much everything besides reaction. 45 speed is fine. He has a lot of quirks. That makes him a little bit better. The pop plays up because he has a lot of quirks, dead red, and breaking ball. So Johnny Bench has stuff that could make him good, but his swing makes him virtually unusable. But just because of the attributes, we'll put him at number 5. Next up is a brand new card that just came out. It is a 93 overall Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver always kind of gets these weird, quirky, low tops now type cards that give him a lot of power, and this one is no different. 98, 89, perfect stats, especially once you get him the P2 of 100 contact versus right and over 90 versus left. That is really, really good for only a 93 as well. 105, 112 power is insane. The vision is really low, so you're going to strike out a lot with him, but shout out to his clutch being just around where his contact is, so you're not going to lose too much in clutch situations. That's really nice. The defense is meh. 79 arm, 68 block. It's not the best, but I really don't care much for catcher defense, which is why he's this high, and he's number 4, ahead of a guy like Johnny Bench, who's clearly better defensively. 42 speed will get it done, and Mitch's swing, unlike Johnny Bench, might actually be the best of every single catcher on this list. If you've played BR and used the Mitch Garver, you know how good it is. Give him a shot. He's free in the tops now moments. You get them all done, you have a 93 catcher, and I do think he's a top 5 one at that. So here you go, Mitch Garver, number 4. Number 3 on this list is 97 overall Salvador Perez. He is in the ranked program, I believe. He's the championship card. You can get him or Santander. Salvi has one of those great swings, super open stance, and he just feels like he pulls and launches everything, even if you're a little bit early on it. 92, 104, 98, 112. Clutch is even better at 108, and it gets over to 110. So in good situations, runners on scoring position, the contact's not going to be too much of a factor, and that's why I really like Salvi a lot. His blocking isn't great. Neither is his arm. He's actually pretty slow, but just the hitting stats, the swing, he does have live quirks. And experience with Salvi's in the past, this card hits tanks. I'm telling you, he's going to be really good. Number 3. Number 2 on this list is Kensuke Kondo. If you blindfolded me, hid the name and everything else, just told me this was a catcher, I would tell you this is probably like a 95, 6, 7 Joe Mauer, because he pretty much plays just like him. High contact, 115, 104, 94 power versus right, 76 versus left. That looks like a Joe Mauer card. The clutch is just about where the contact versus left is, so you don't lose a whole lot. 71 speed is great. The defense is pretty good for this being a catcher secondary card. This card is super valuable in general, just because he plays the whole outfield, the corners, and catcher. I mean, lefty bat, a lot of people need lefties in their lineup. Jerry rigging one in the catcher is amazing, especially when he's one of the best options. And this card is free when you grind out the WBC program. Again, the WBC program is a reoccurring theme in this, but it's just what it is because it's a free card. And if you're saving up stubs for live series or saving up stubs for completing the chipper collection or anything like that, having a free card like Kondo behind a dish is definitely going to help you out. And again, he's a lefty. I think this card's amazing, and he's the second best catcher in the game. And to probably nobody's surprise, the best catcher in the game is the only 99 catcher in the game right now, JT Realmuto. He is from the World Baseball Classic Set 3 pack that just dropped this Friday. I'm telling you, this JT is so juicy. Over 100 in all of his stats besides power versus lefties. He'll get over 90 in that as well. A 101 clutch is fantastic. He has 88 speed base, which is incredible because that gets over 90 at catcher. Elite catcher defense with the 99 arm and 93 blocking. Again, I don't care too much about it, but having that alongside the speed and arguably the best hitting stats among catchers to begin with is really nice. He has the reverse split, so he's better versus righties power-wise. I mean, there's just a whole lot to like here. And at P5, he gets to 110, 111 contact. So this card is honestly an end game type of a situation. There will be better catchers to come out at some point, especially on the hitting attribute side. But for a pretty good swing, it's not the best, but it's definitely one of the better ones for right-handed hitters. This JT Realmuto has it all. 5-tool player at catcher. It's just not a position you get a lot of that. And I think he's the best catcher in the game by a good chunk. So let me know what you guys think. Those are my top 10 catchers with some honorable mentions. If you guys use somebody not on the list, you let me know who it is down below. And you let me know if you've had any success with any of the cards I did mention. I would love to hear your stats with all of them. And if you've gotten to use this brand new 99 JT of Realmuto. If you guys want to see more tier lists like this, leave a like and subscribe down below. We're going to have tier lists for every single position coming out during set 1. And at the end of the set, we will have a big video putting them all together. So until then, you guys, I'll see you next time.